Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Shenanigans. The whole party wakes up in their beds in Shenanigans.
Ooh. I had a nice sleep. I'll head down for breakfast.
Do I have a snake bag?
Storm has passed. There is a bag with a snake in it, tied up at the end of your bed. However, all of your weapons and armor and money and gear and backpacks are not with you. You have the clothes on your back and a snake in a bag, except for Armand, who has nothing.
He sold the book.
But I don't have bed sheets.
I mean, you're in a bed, so you've got bed sheets, but yeah.
Right.
But none of your original stuff that you started with at the beginning of the session.
Okay.
We've been robbed.
Well, you're in different rooms.
He could come out of his room and say he's been robbed. It's a regular day in Shenanigans.
So we
I'm having some
we don't know what happened after the thing because we have no knowledge of it.
There's these like vague memories of running around in circles in this pillow fort and sleeping, but then waking up and feeling rested and energetic, but at the same time being sort of delirious. And there's like all these visions of gods before you and cubrits bouncing around and strange music. And then there was like this sensation of cold and of trudging and being dragged and then the warmness and softness of your bed. And it's all sort of a weird, confusing like blackout blur where you're not really sure how you got where you are right now.
Would I not have been conscious of everything that happened after my nap since it acts as 8 hours of sleep?
It will rest you as if it were 8 hours, but it will not speed up your metabolism as if it were 8 hours.
Really? Because it's healed as if it's 8 hours.
I mean, if it's giving you 8 hours of rest, that
I would argue
increasing your metabolism.
I would argue that because it does the healing as if it was an 8 hours of a full night's rest, that it would be the healing of a full night's rest.
That is a very interesting point. Could you use the spell then to get rid of, let poisons process in your body? If you nap yourself, will you not be drunk when you wake up?
It would be the equivalent of taking 8 hours sleep. So but that would also mean it could make the poison kill you if the poison was like stronger than whatever would be my assumption, right?
Makes sense.
I don't think that's how it works.
Because it like the wording is specifically the affected person recovers lost hit points as if you had rested for a full night. I think the implication is your body like
He probably just had weird dreams. What?
I don't think it's going to neutralize other effects that are happening on you. Like if you were under the effect of a spell that had a duration of 7 hours, you couldn't nap yourself and then have it end in 1 hour. Otherwise, this would be way too strong. This would be like I'm going to get rid of the debuff on me.
Like biological processes. Like if you were drunk, your body had the equivalent of 8 hours of...
Yeah, in my mind, it gives you the effects of a full rest in D&D terms, right? Which is... That would also, if a full rest would heal that status effect.
Well, it's like a poison effect, so it takes place over like 7 hours, and nap doesn't process like poison effects.
I don't think it would affect poisons within your system, is what I'm trying to get at. Okay. No, I don't think it would. Yeah. But either way, you're all here in your rooms. And you can head on down to the bar, and it's actually quite empty down there. There's only 10 other people. Everyone else is out and about because it's a bright, sunny day. The storm has passed, and everyone's tired of being cooped up indoors, so they've fled.
Could I have some bacon and eggs, please?
They bring you bacon and eggs.
Thank you.
Armand's wearing another bed sheet.
Yep.
So how'd it go yesterday, fellas?
I have no idea. Does anybody remember what happened last night?
All of my things are gone.
Me too. I think I got robbed.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you took drugs and thought you were going to have a fun time, but when you woke up in the morning, you realized you lost all your shit?
I'm saying I think I got robbed.
This is the moral of this story, Neal.
Armand, how did someone steal from you?
The first thing they'd take would be this super stupendous snake. I say, holding up the bag.
You caught a snake.
I don't know.
Well done.
You were supposed to be watching over me, man.
No,
Yeah,
You left me with this gnome and this boomer.
you got robbed, man. You don't go taking drugs in public places.
I'm gonna walk up to Desmond and ask if he knows what happened.
Oh boy, do I ever! I heard it straight from the cleric's mouths. Apparently, the three of you were whacked out and stormed the church and started demanding snakes and talking about a cuber, a cubie, a quaba, or something like that. And they had to lock you in a room for the night until you guys would calm down. And you were naked, he says, pointing at Armand, running around and pointing at the gnome. You needed a snake for some reason, so they gave you a snake. And once you get a little bit tired and a little more manageable, they brought you here and tucked you in.
What
happened to our stuff?
Yeah, do we have our equipment when they brought us in? And who brought us in?
The priest did.
The priest robbed us?
You didn't have any gear on you when you came in. I don't know if the priest robbed you or what happened.
Okay, gentlemen, I think to get your items back, we need to go back to the temple.
Yeah, I think we do too, but you guys might have to go and talk to them for me.
Why? You're a cleric. Don't you have more authority than us there?
I had a run-in with the head priest. I would be willing to talk to him, but I'm probably not supposed to go back in the temple willingly.
What, because you do drugs?
No, there was an incident. People died, but, I was just working under my god's orders at that moment.
Uh-huh. Look, I can't identify all your stuff, so you have to come. You have to come, because I don't know what all your things are.
Okay, well, I could ask from the door if the priest would allow me to speak to them.
All right, let's go to the temple once I finish breakfast.
All right, you can have breakfast. The three other of you are also ravenously hungry. You have expended a tremendous amount of energy last night doing all of your activities and had not eaten like lunch or dinner, so you are hungry. After when everyone has their meals, the four of you, I think, can all head back to the church.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll have taken the morning for spells, just in case.
Sure, of course.
Yeah, that hour thingy.
All right. You guys head back to the church. Where is my church music?
All right, I'll pet Honey and kind of lean on Honey as I'm kind of still in recovery.
Is Honey one of your mice?
No, Honey's the badger.
You have a badger?
Yeah, I remember there was a whole thing about Honey last time. Honey's the badger.
Yeah, it's just been a while, so I didn't remember the details.
Yeah.
Okay, you have a new name today, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
You are now Candle. Just Candle. Mouse Giggle.
Candle Mouse Giggle. That sounds great.
And you don't have your armor mods because they're gone. Your armor's been stolen.
Yes, that's the problem.
All right. The party arrives back at the church. The priests are dressed in their robes, sweeping the steps. People are here for their morning prayers and masses. Who wants to be the first one to approach the church?
I will.
All right. You walk up the steps and a cleric nods in your direction.
Before he leaves, I mentioned to, ask to make sure I don't get smited by approaching him.
Okay.
Just in case.
Father, Mother, these are three of my friends were here yesterday. You know, the incident. I'm here to get their belongings back. If they're
What belongings?
Here, apparently they're wearing clothes, and he had a suit of armor. He had clothes, not that bed sheet, and he had a suit of armor as well.
A full suit of plate mail, the Novus armor.
Suits of armor.
Well, he will lead you to a damp pile of rags not rags, but clothes in a pile in a corner near the front door that are Armand's clothes.
I'll take my clothes.
Yep, they're soaking wet.
Okay.
Is a boomer allowed to enter? There's some question about that. Yeah, the Cleric of Vengeance. No? No. Okay. Well, can you give me his armor so he doesn't have to go inside? Because you
What
know
armor?
how he's like. He was wearing a very nice plate mail yesterday.
Not when I saw him, but I wasn't the first one to see him.
Where would it have been put then?
I don't know. I didn't.
Well, is there a store
Never
in
saw
here
it.
where it'd be taken?
Let me go ask one of the other clerics. Please wait here.
Thank
And he
you very much.
heads off to the back. Comes back a few minutes later and goes, I'm sorry, no one's seen any plate mail lying around. Are you sure
this is
he had it with
stolen.
him when he came here?
He had it when I left him.
I never
So-
take it off. It's nothing at which to scoff.
Well, it's weird someone being robbed in a church, but I mean, I guess they were drugged, whatever. You guys got your tithings. I mean, you
Are you accusing me of stealing from these people?
No,
I
I'm talking-
am
I'm
a
excusing you.
holy cleric of Jexel. I would never steal from anyone.
Well, you can also kind of make a deal with me about sleeping.
Excuse me.
So my
I'm not there. I was a little voice in their head.
All right then. Okay.
all that I have are my clothes.
Yep. They just hand you your
No
clothes
money?
back.
No money.
No money.
Okay.
Of course not, sir. I should never have suggested such a thing. Then I'll see you in thieves' camp. Goodbye, brother. Then leave.
Cool.
So did Rob have coins on him when he woke
He
up?
had a very expensive armor on him.
Right now, you just have the clothes on your back.
No, I mean
Well-
when he woke up in the morning, because didn't the guy like pay
Clothes
for
on
the
your
stuff?
back and a sack
Okay.
with a snake in it.
Okay.
Gentlemen, when I get back to the party, this isn't over. We're still getting the money back. They're denying everything. I'm going to do some reconnaissance and see if it's actually there or if a third party took it. All right?
All right.
So I need to know, like, anything special of your belongings I should be looking for, because I don't exactly have an inventory of your stuff.
Mainly the plate mail and the shield, I would say.
Yeah,
well,
my splint mail and armor is the important.
Okay.
There were many other things, but those are like the two.
Recently lost money.
Oh, dear.
Oh yeah, a lot of money as well. You know, like maybe 100 gold worth approximately.
200 gold here.
Yeah, a lot of gold.
For the armor, just check if someone's tried to sell it off at the one of the blacksmiths. I'll go inside and sneak around.
Wait, check what?
There's 2 blacksmiths in town. See if someone tried to sell on your armor.
Oh, to sell it. True.
Yeah. So just go check and ask them about it. I'm going to sneak in because I can be sneaky, and they're not worried of me.
And asking people around, like nobody saw somebody walking around with a full suit of plate mail, notice armors with all the contraptions.
Well, you
all
go
the-
ahead and ask people.
Nobody noticed anybody walking around with this.
Go ask
It
people
would have
about
been
it.
pretty noisy, not just been being split mail, but my device today was literally a bell on top of the head of the helmet.
All right, well, you guys go ask people about the armor. These clerics will claim that it's not here, so I'll go sneak around.
Okay. So if we ask around, Neal, do we have
You walk up the stairs to go talk to the clerics?
I mean, ask around me. I'm asking like around outside and stuff. They could ask inside. I'm like
Yeah,
asking
you-
around.
You can ask around to the random people going back and forth, and no one's seen your armor anywhere.
All right, I'm
Armor?
going
No,
to,
no.
I'm going to memorize my spells for the day then.
Okay. You memorize your spells for the day.
All right, I want to sneak around the church and get into their storerooms and see if the stuff's in there. Neal.
You're going to sneak around into the church's storerooms?
Yeah. I'm not taking anything unless I can see, because I know you're not allowed to. Like, I'm a little superstitious. Like, you don't mess with the church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I do?
Give
you're doing
me
my check.
a hide check with...
Shouldn't you make that?
Yeah, I should probably make it in secret.
10.
What's your hide modifier?
I've got 10. Yeah, I'm a 10.
Okay. And opposed by perception checks of other people nearby. So you make your way to one of the doors near the storeroom, and as you're kind of approaching it, there is a loud throat clearing from a nearby priest, a few people over, who's looking at you at the corner of his eye.
Sorry, Father, this isn't the daughter of the winter gods, is it?
Get out!
I leave.
He watches you walk out and stalks out after you, picking up like a candelabra, like pulling it out of its base and walking to the edge of the door, holding it threateningly with burning candles in it.
Alright, that didn't. I'll go tonight when no one's on duty, or less people are on duty. That's my plan.
Okay.
All right. Once I have my spells back, I'm gonna go up to the priest. Go back to the church. Go up to the priest. And say, you and your fellow priests took my armor. That's very dangerous. It could lead to great harm or worse.
I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm the one whose armor you took. Now, don't you act like a villainous crook.
I'm sorry. I am a cleric of Martha. Why would I steal the armor of a gnome?
Is this the one we talked to before?
No, this is a different one.
There's a lot of priests. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them.
There was a priest of JacobH here.
Yes. Father James.
We
He's here.
think that he took our stuff, and his assurances that he didn't are not enough.
You believe Father JacobH stole your things? I mean, JacobH is the god of trickery, but also wine and fun and that sort of thing. I would be surprised why he would take the armor of a gnome. To what end?
For trickery and stuff. I don't know why anyone would take my stuff. It only fits me.
Yes, so why would he take it?
Well, because that's the nature of JacobH.
Well, let me go see. And she walks over and finds James and has a
I
little
am a
sit
fellow
down.
priest here.
Yeah, I mean, it would be even worse to steal from a priest. I don't think anyone would do that here. Father James, have you seen this gnome's armor? And Father James looks at the gnome and goes, "Oh, you were the one that was here yesterday with the sack, right?"
Why, yes.
Yes. What did you do with it? We put you in a room, but you didn't have any armor on when you were in there.
I command, confess!
He blankly looks at you and goes, "I never saw your armor."
Ooh.
So he's high enough level that he didn't have to even bother rolling. I said, I had my armor when I came in here. And now it's not here, which I very much fear.
Maybe you lost it earlier in the day. What were you doing last night?
We were playing cards on the bottom floor of the bell tower.
Yes, well,
Never mind the hour.
perhaps, you got distracted. You were in quite a state. Delirious, yelling about snakes and quibbits.
I look over at him. I look over at the priest of Martha. I cast Sanctuary on myself and then go to check out the back rooms.
So you cast Sanctuary on yourself. You walk over to what you would expect to be the storeroom. They have not made any aggressive attacks at you yet, so they walk with you, and when you go to open the door, the cleric of Martha puts her hand on the door and says, "Excuse me, little gnome, what do you think you're doing?"
I'm checking for my things. Surely you wouldn't object to that.
I would object to you rifling through the storerooms of a church. Would you please leave?
I said, then perhaps you can come with me and show me that there's nothing to be found.
I do not believe we will be doing that. Please leave before someone will be escorting you out.
As long as I don't do anything aggressive, they can't do anything aggressive to me.
What are you gonna do? They deny they have your stuff, and they're not gonna let you go rifling through all of their possessions. That would be illegal search and seizure. And you're not even the state. That's even worse if it's just done by a regular citizen. That's just theft. That's breaking and entering. It's trespassing. You could be locked up for a long time.
I give Honey a little slap on the butt and go, oh no, a giant badger is rampaging through your church.
They watch the badger run. People look a little confused and get out of its way. The badger, what is the badger's state of mind? Let's have the badger make a...
Probably looking for something to eat.
Yeah. The badger finds its way to an altar and just starts eating the food that people left there for it. That were left on the altar for the gods.
They left you with your badger?
That's a good point. Where was the badger the whole night? I don't know where the badger was the whole night, but I guess it followed you home, so it's fine.
Or is it still in the armor?
Followed you home.
I'm gonna. Somebody took my money, and I want it back. It's one of you fishy clerics.
A priest shows up, dressed in long robes, and says, "Excuse me, son. What do you mean someone stole your money? This is a problem for the proper authorities. Have you spoken to the sheriff?"
No.
All right.
Perhaps you should take this matter to the sheriff. It's not one for us here.
Yes, we shall. I gesture for the rest of you, like, follow me to the sheriff's office.
Okay.
Actually, I'm just going to go check the pawn shop and see if the stuff's there.
Is there a pawn shop in town?
No,
sure.
I'm asking if there is one.
You can go around looking at the various stores in town to see if any of this stuff is turning up. But it doesn't.
Shop.
Do you think he said that?
Yeah,
that's
on
what
break I heard that every time.
Yeah.
Pawn. P-A-W-N.
accent. Yeah, good work. Australian accent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, I got you. Wow. Okay.
All right.
That made much more sense to look for our items there now.
So
we get to the sheriff's office.
Am I with you guys again yet?
you guys go to the sheriff's office, but it's closed because there's no sheriff in town.
Exactly. So we go on in.
Okay, but I tell Rob.
It's locked. I guess you can pick the lock.
Or sorry, I tell.
Oh no! If only we had a thief with somebody.
Well, we can both try lock pick. Well, we're in public. They'll see us pick the lock.
Yeah,
I also mentioned to you guys that I can locate animal or plants. If there's any other plants or animals in Rob's armor, I can locate them using locate animal or plants.
I break the window.
Ooh, he's got a mouse. But
He had mice, he had badgers. That's what I was asking the badger is still in it or not. That was my plan. And then the badger appeared. I'm like, shit.
So the sheriff's little station is right in the market square. If you try to pick a lock or break a window, it's going to be extremely obvious to everyone around you.
Okay,
This
can
is
I go
not-
just create a distraction? Who's going to arrest us anyway? But can I go create a distraction on the other side of the market square?
mob justice. These are vendors. They'll do
Can
something.
we just become the sheriff at this point?
I'm just going to go in there and have one of you swear me in.
All right, I'm okay with
you need
this.
Glib Clop to swear you in.
Would you like a cleric to swear you in? Because I'm willing.
Do it.
Yeah, you need Glib Clop to swear you in because he's the lord of the town.
Oh, we could use.
Okay, you go get Glib.
All right.
Let's get Glib Clop.
Okay.
All right,
well,
we're doing it.
Honey, we'll go back.
Let's do it.
All right.
The first gnome sheriff.
You get Glibglob. He was hanging out underneath a table in Shenanigans, just curled up on the floor. And he sort of wakes up as you grab him and drag him out, and you bring
Good
him
morning,
to.
Glibglob. How are you feeling?
Can you make me a sheriff with a badge, and I'll let you ride on Honey, my badger?
Mm,
You have Badger. It's there. That's Badger.
ah,
Yes, I need
Yes.
to be the sheriff. Can you
Okay.
make me the sheriff?
Oh, how?
all right. I'll make up some papers. Since I've got forgery, I can make fake papers.
Sure, you start to forge some sort of doctrine that would make him a
Make him-
sheriff. First off, give me an intelligence check, and then give me a forgery check.
It doesn't have to be forgery because it's
Well, I
really
I
gonna
don't
be
have the right paperwork.
authentic.
Yeah,
Right,
to be
that's my
fair,
character.
he's just using the skill to make it look right. And it doesn't mean it's not official.
Would it be like more bureaucracy?
I do have
And-
Oh, you've got
bureaucracy.
bureaucracy.
I will aid you in this with my bureaucracy.
No, you've got
Oh
bureaucracy.
my
You can
God.
do the paperwork.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can do the paperwork in
You've got
general.
bureaucracy.
Fair.
I'm sorry. Neal.
That
we
is
can
true.
ignore the int check then. All right, so you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what the proper sheriff making forms are supposed to look like. And you can write it up if you have ink and paper.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
I'll just
and a
buy some
quill.
ink and paper. I'll just go buy
Okay.
some.
Thank God one of us wasn't robbed.
I get robbed every week on this game.
Oh. So,
It's going to be 800 copper for some ink,
all right.
and I think the quill will be negligible.
Yeah, okay. Removed.
0
From
copper.
my money.
Yeah. Okay. And do you have paper already, or do you need to buy paper too?
I'll buy whatever paper Mr. Bureaucracy tells me I should have.
Yeah, you get some nice fancy paper.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
about another 100 copper on paper.
100 copper, got it. Done.
All right.
All right. Now we can do up the paperwork properly because with bureaucracy, and Rob can make it official.
And while we're doing this, since we're going the law route, can I use, again, I have a religion proficiency to know how legit it was to rob a sleeping person in a church? Because that does not seem like a deal.
No, you're robbed. Of course, it's not real.
Okay, well, because if people were saying that they were traded, I don't think mine was a trade.
Theft is theft, right?
Yeah, okay, okay.
All right. So we've got the paperwork signed up. So I'll go to the mayor's office, which is also closed.
Yep.
That's in the mall. The town hall. Is people watching the town hall at the moment? Can I get into there, break into there, Neal, to get the keys to the sheriff office?
The town hall still operates even if there's no mayor, because there's still other
okay.
officials that have to
Okay. We'll
do
present
things.
the paperwork to get the keys then.
Okay, so hold on.
Officials.
You've got like
Bureaucrats.
a notary public here. You've got the head janitor, the head like groundskeeper. All like there are a lot of functions that happen in town that are outside of law enforcement.
Parks
And
department.
All right,
Yeah,
so we
there's-
file the papers with the notary.
Let's file
I
the
know
papers.
exactly who to file it with and where it would be coming from.
So-
Let's do this.
you go to the town hall. You've got these papers that say that Boomer is going to be who's going to be the new sheriff?
I believe the gnome.
The gnome is going to be the new sheriff, which is not an unusual thing for Shenanigans. That's fine.
Yep.
And it is signed by Glibglob,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
who has just put like an X through it.
Yeah.
'Cause he
I'll
can't
bring
write.
Glibglob with us
And
too.
if he wants to come with us riding on the back of the Honey, that's cool.
Sure, yeah, he comes with you. He's down for a short jaunt out into town.
Yeah.
Anyway, you get here, and you present these things to a clerk, who looks at it, and goes, and whose sign is this X?
Lord Glibglob.
This is we
Lord of
brought
the
him
town.
with us. This is
Do you not know the Lord of our town?
Do you not know the Lord?
You're telling me that a kobold is going to make you
A
sheriff?
kobold? You mean a
Lord
lord?
Our
Glibglob.
Lord?
Are you being racist, good sir?
There is paperwork
Specious.
filed to say who the current lord of the town is, and it says his name.
This is
I'm
a
sorry, I
society
am
we
not
live in.
taking
We need to
orders from a
abide.
kobold.
We need to
No.
abide by the laws of society or we'll all crumble. You work in government. You should know this.
I'm not taking orders from a kobold. That is not real. And he takes your paper and rips it in half. And then
This
hands
guy's
it
a
back to you.
criminal.
He's fired.
He's a
He's
criminal.
fired. You're fired.
Can we
You're
arrest him?
fired.
I'm gonna take him by his
I'm
collar.
gonna have to
You're-
arrest
you're
you.
the sheriff.
Chug, make me an attack roll. Grab him by the collar, Matt.
Okay. What should I roll for this? Not that. That.
You make a grab for him, and it doesn't hit. And immediately the clerk starts yelling. And there are some guards around the town hall, not many, just 2 that, keep the peace in the town hall. And they, come down. One comes down from the hall over there, one standing outside the front door, and they both turn up. They've got stud leather armor and spears.
I'm
Guards,
so
look
glad
at you.
showed up. Arrest this man for
He has-
destroying official government documents.
He has gone against the word of the Lord of the city, who we have with us right here.
All right, get out of here, guys. Get on out of the town hall. Come
But
on.
like 3 weeks ago, you were getting him to sign documents. What changed?
Get on out of here.
What happened in the last
This
3 weeks?
society is broken.
3 weeks
Come
ago.
on, come on. If the clerk
You
is
had
telling
some-
me, if the clerk says you're troublemakers, you don't belong here.
What does Glibglob say?
It's just looking back and forth. Ooh.
Glibglob tells these guys to stand down. They're
I'll
being
hold
mean
up
to
the
you.
2 papers.
Stand up,
Glibglob
stand up, stand
appointed
up.
me sheriff.
They look down and look at you and say, and so?
Glibglob appointed me sheriff, and then this clerk is trying to usurp lordly power and just ripped it in half. This
Take it
town
to the
needs a
Baroness.
Sheriff. Are you
Take
gonna
it
be
to the Baroness.
All right, guys. Let's revisit this in a moment here.
All right.
So we get away from the guards, and I say, why don't we try everything again? However, I will attempt to charm person this bureaucracy boy,
All right.
and I assume it's a fairly long duration, so I don't have to do it like. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I can take the right moment where
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So
You
I would like to
bureaucracy?
charm person the bureaucracy
mammal.
boy.
On who is bureaucracy boy? The
The one
clerk?
who ripped. Yeah. So we'll remake the documents and stuff, and now with him charmed or attempt to charm him and try again.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
We'll
so
do it
here's
again.
my question. How do you cast a charm person spell on a person in the middle of a public setting without anyone noticing that you're casting a spell on him?
Yeah,
Well, like
distraction.
Bond walks in
on a
without
time,
pants.
right? So let's see here. What is the time? How long does this last? Is the one that
It's
lasts
a
like long
casting time of 5, so it takes
No,
a
no, no.
while to cast.
But it lasts days,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, but you got to cast it in the first place. That's what Neil's saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
well,
how do you
You
get
got to
it
distract
cast?
everyone while you're
Yeah.
casting.
So whether like he's in a position where I could cast it with, like, I don't know if he's in a room. If he's alone in a room, I could just cast it there. If he like wait to the bathroom, I cast it there. If I wait till he goes home, like there's obviously a time.
Okay, so you're gonna stalk him until he's alone and
Yes.
then charm person him.
Yes.
Sounds good.
And then if we have to go
sounds
back the
good.
next day to do this, but yeah, like there's obviously a time when he's not
Okay,
surrounded by people.
but this guy's just a clerk, right?
Yeah, it's just a clerk.
Well, I'm assuming he's the person who's gonna file these documents with my bureaucracy
Are we
check.
sure about that, or is he just?
Well, okay. Well, what do we have to do to make him mayor legally? You got
Yeah.
the bureaucracy. Can you check to see?
Give me a
Yeah.
bureaucracy check. Are you
God,
familiar
not
with
like
this?
hell. Not like hell. Please, not again like hell. When it was a 1, and then we became hell beasts.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay. You know exactly how this works. So, if there is some sort of problem and people can't agree on the legality of a given message, you have to go up the chain of command, right? You go to appeal to the next highest person. And right now, there's no sheriff. There's no mayor. There's supposedly a kobold that's the lord of the town, but at the same time, like, he spends his days drinking, like, lapping up spilled beer, and
Sounds like
there's
a
no
lord to
real
me.
authority. It sort of is like a
That's what
questionable
lords
thing.
do.
Okay, but now
Let's do
to be fair, these documents are gonna go to the clerk. Is there even anyone else that's gonna touch these documents after that?
They would have to be approved by the clerk's boss, who would be the town mayor, who doesn't really exist at this point. And
Yep.
so you would
I don't
need
think anybody else sees these.
No, it skips the town mayor and goes to the town mayor's boss,
Lord?
who would be the baroness of the town or the
Yeah,
lord of the
he's boss
town.
The Lord.
But now we
Who
have
wants the
this.
boss?
Well, hold
I think
on. We're
it's
getting
these
into a
two
theory. Where does authority lie? You know, if the law says Glibglob's the Lord and nobody listens to it,
The rule. That's us.
But this is my entire point, right? If this goes through the clerk and now it's filed like that, people don't even realize that Gliblob had a part. They just know he was appointed. They go to the clerk and it's like, yeah, it was fine.
The clerk is refusing, and if the clerk did sign the papers, he would have to pass it on to who he believed would be the next authority, which,
And
according to the
charmed him to
clerk,
think it was
is the
Gliblob.
Baroness.
Not he charmed him.
Yeah.
Well, we're not there yet. We are here.
Okay.
So do
So
I
there's
really
the
charm
plan.
him when he's alone and all that kind of stuff? Plus,
So you want?
I did
All right, let's go.
2 of those charms set up for today. That I figured this is what we're going to be doing. I have charms
All
and
right.
maps in case I need
All
to
right.
change it.
Rock and roll. Let's find him.
Okay.
So you guys are gonna lurk around the town hall, waiting for the clerk to go home for the day, so you
Or
can.
go to the restroom alone.
Right, but you want to wait for him to be in a spot
We're being
where.
safe about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're being safe
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can hide. I can use. Or you can do my hide check again. 10.
Well, the town hall has its own little privy, so you're gonna have to basically wait for him to be done for the day, which is fine. So you kill the day waiting for the clerk to show up, and eventually he leaves the town hall, wanders down the street.
If we were gonna have to wait for the day, I would tell one of our lovely companions to probably keep an eye on the church to make sure that our armor and stuff doesn't get taken out of the church.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like the sort of thing that you're gonna wait for the day. It's the sort of thing where you wait and it takes the day. You know.
Well, no. If we're planning to wait on the outside of the building for him to go home, we know we're waiting the day,
Okay. Okay.
right? Fair. I
Well,
think
you
that's
might
fair.
not know if he was going to leave for his lunch break or stretch his legs. You don't know when he goes home, right? You're sort of like, there's a person in here and we've got to wait for him. It's a unknown of when he will depart.
But
So
we
you
would
got to keep
also have to
eyes
wait
on the
till
church.
the next day to be able to file it. So I do believe that we would have somebody to keep an eye. If we, were, we would have someone to keep an eye on the church.
Sure.
I would very
Okay.
much
Someone's
assume.
who's keeping an eye on the church.
Anyone perceptive?
It just
I
seems
have-
like an Armand sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I've got 4 perception. So, I'm
Excellent.
ready-
Give me a perception
ready.
check,
All right.
Armand.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, but it's pretty clear if somebody's.
No,
Totally.
no,
Yeah,
not too
yeah.
far.
All right,
No,
great, great.
They carry out the armor and you don't notice. Yeah.
Yeah,
a
that's
lot
great.
of stuff to carry, but yikes.
Occasionally, I'll even call out and I'll be like, "Hey, have you seen my money?"
No one makes eye contact with you or looks at you or responds to your questions. It's like they don't even see that you're there. You're basically invisible to them when you start shouting about who's got my money.
Even better.
Okay, so that late afternoon, the clerk is seen leaving the town hall. He's got a leather briefcase in one hand and walks down the road, hooks a right, and heads for the east side of town.
Okay. So
Is he alone in any alleyways on the way
yeah,
there?
basically again.
He's
minor-
not taking alleyways. He's just taking main roads back to his house.
Regardless, isn't the range of this pretty far? It's 80 yards, so I can be. Yeah, I don't have to be visible. I can be wherever the hell I want. He's alone. I cast. Like I could literally be in a very unseen location, just waiting for him to come out of the building.
Well, we could have just done it through a window then.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
you can't.
I'm assuming
let's,
Neal was making it harder than that, but yeah.
Yeah, so like if the clerk there's the front door, and there's an atrium and a hallway, and the clerk
Yeah.
is right there at the end of that. So if you,
All right.
in theory, if you're standing on the directly out, you could see him, but then you would be casting spells still in like the view of public. Maybe
Yeah.
not in the view of him, but there would be people around, you know. Mm-hmm. And it's generally inadvisable to be casting spells where people can see, because it skeeves people out when magic is just being tossed around, especially when it's like pointed at the town hall. That makes people very uncomfortable.
He just cast it on him while he's sleeping.
Well, yeah, but you guys can catch him on the way home.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fine. You can
Either way.
cast Charm Person on his way home. And he gets a saving throw. He's a 0th level character. He needs a 19 on a d20 in order to pass his save. Be rare. Only a 10% chance. Okay, the spell gets cast upon him, and he keeps walking and walks back to his house.
All right, let's go in tomorrow, yes?
Yeah.
Well, you could test it out after you cast it by just like walking up to him and see how he responds.
Hey man, how's it going?
He turns around and goes, "Oh, hey! I'm so sorry about earlier, but, rules are rules."
I get it. We might come back in tomorrow to talk to you about it, but I understand completely, friend. Have a great night.
Good night.
Okay.
All right. He still
this
has his
might
ethical
go
code,
better.
it seems. Yeah, but it sounds like he's still got his ethical code with the charm spell.
Wait,
This might. Well, he said rules are rules. So
Yeah.
he might not.
Yeah.
He might not. Yeah.
No, but like this is still within
he's
the
not like inverted ethics here.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, well, let's just go over our
So
plan.
what was it
Let's go
that
over our plan. So, our plan is to charm this clerk.
We did
So
charm the clerk.
Okay, so that we can go in tomorrow and discuss with him that we are.
Well, under what authority did Glibglob become Lord? Like, I wasn't there.
He
for
won an
that
honor
episode.
duel.
What?
There was a pit in the two people were fighting an honor duel over who could become the lord of the town.
And is that how it normally works?
Caved in because Glibglob's house was underneath. Glibglob killed them both, and by the rules of the match, he became the lord of the town.
But who set these rules would be the question, right? Is this just the society's
It's
rules?
general honor duel rules, apparently.
Okay. So
In the
it is official.
Episode 113, ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to see it later.
Okay, so it is official.
So let's
So
go to the
basically,
library.
In terms
and
of
the rules.
laws are laws. In terms of laws are laws, he should respect this. He's not
Okay,
respecting
we
it
need to
due
have.
to
We
criticism,
have to
but
find
now
that
he wants to do me a
paperwork from that
favor.
episode. We need to find that paperwork from that episode if you're going to convince him. And I've
And
got no
we
idea if
should
they
get-
destroyed it.
Wait, are you saying that the clerk would not have knowledge of who the lord of the town is? Like
possible.
to me, this just came down to this dude being specious against kobolds.
Yeah, but you see,
Now,
the
if he
publicly,
was to be
they
favorably, he wants to do me a
pretend
favor, and he
the
wants to.
Baron's wife is the lord of the town. That's the problem. To the public, that's the truth.
Okay, but it could very much be within the realm of the law. Like I don't think he's breaking the law by accepting the Lord's decree.
No, he doesn't know. We need to show him the paperwork that proves it. Because
Okay.
there was paperwork filed when he was made the lord of the town.
Okay. In that case, I could always just ask him, like, "Hey, do you mind
I
confirming?"
tried to. He just ignored me when I said.
No,
"Look,
but now
look
like
at the
he's
papers."
charmed by me, right?
Right.
He basically wants to like he's not gonna like stab himself for me, but I'm like, hey, do you mind like double checking if this kobold is like the Lord? And if he checks the official paperwork and he'll see it is, and then
Yeah.
again, he wants to work with
And why don't we go to the library to like get whatever books about the town laws would
Well,
support this whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, my bureaucracy does that as
Yeah.
well, I would assume. But
Let's
yeah,
just take him to court. Let's just take him to court. Do we have the judges?
But there's no bear. I mean, we've got half an hour. Come on.
Are there courts?
Well, yeah, the Baron holds court and decides that you're guilty.
All right, well let's go do this quickly. At least we can become sheriff.
All right.
All right.
The next day, you return to the town hall. You've got
Yeah.
your new papers, which will cost another 100 copper for the new sheet of paper.
Right. Let me go.
Can we get whatever supporting research we need from the library?
No, all that documentation would be in the town hall.
Oh, okay, but I mean
Yeah.
like books of the law or things like that.
Or hire a lawyer.
and just guys, for the record here, before we go in, we probably want to have the plan set up ahead of time, and for me to go in and talk alone because the charm only
here's
does.
the paperwork.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
charm
he's-
only affects me, and if you guys are there, it can like backfire.
All right. I'll stay out here. Here's
Yep.
the paperwork.
And yeah, the plan is just to make him either accept it, and if he refuses, ask him like, "Hey, for me, do you mind verifying if this kobold is the?"
So let's do it. Why don't we just,
All right.
you walk on
Go-
in, right?
Go in. Yeah.
Well,
I'm
do you guys have
outside.
anything to add before we go on it? I guess in the moment, if you say it's because you added it before.
Yeah.
They're not here.
Yeah. He's
So are
alone.
you going in
He's
on your
alone.
own? But who's,
I
someone
go in
do
on my
something.
own.
Okay,
I
you
go
walk
in on my
in
own.
by yourself, Boomer.
Yep. And I
There's-
have the documents, and I go to that clerk.
Yep,
and
he's
I,
hanging out at his table.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what can I do for you today?
Hey, so we each came back with these papers from the other day. Have you checked if the kobold was the official lord yet?
I mean, it's more of like a ceremonial figurehead, you know?
Oh,
He's
laws
not
are laws,
really
man.
the Lord.
Come on, laws are laws. We're all lawful people here.
He's
we want to
not
follow the
the
law.
Lord of the town. You think if he gave an order to invade that we'd... Come on, he's cute. It's fun. You know,
Well,
there's a village down the street that elected a cat as mayor. You know, it's not a real thing.
Well, to be fair though, the law is the law. I don't know about you, but I prefer to follow the law. If I didn't think that this kobold was
He's
the
not
lord, I would
the-
probably try to change the thing. Like
He's
if I
the Lord. You know, it's cute. It's fun. We sometimes get him to put his paw print on like silly sign on a random bits of legislation for funsies.
But I could know entire other nations where the leader is a complete joke to me, and you still have to follow his laws.
Well, thank God we don't live in one of those places.
Well, what's the paperwork on that?
Pardon?
No, I can't say it because I'm not in the room.
Oh, yeah. Like, as far as I'm concerned, just because you were outvoted for your leader, you still have to follow your leader. That's the lawful way to go.
What are you talking about? No one was outvoted. No one votes for anything. What's voting even?
But that's my kind of point. You disagree with who the Lord is. It doesn't mean he's not your Lord. So if we want to follow the law in this case, we can't just go making our own laws up willy-nilly.
Look, buddy. If you got a problem, hey, if you want to elect your gnome to be town sheriff, you got to go talk to the Baroness about it. All right, she'll sort it out.
So you have no regard for the
look. I mean,
laws
I
here?
like you. You're a fun person, but come on, you're being absolutely ridiculous. If you want the gnome to be a sheriff, just take him to the Baroness. There's no sheriff right now. She'll probably sign off on it, but no one's gonna take the authority of Lord Glibglob. I mean, come on. Listen to that. Listen to the way it rolls off the tongue. You can't help but smile and laugh when you say it.
Why? Because he's a kobold?
I feel like you're being intentionally dense.
Excuse me?
I feel like you're being intentionally dense.
I just try to follow the laws to the best of my abilities. Just because he's a kobold does not mean...
Name one law.
There you go. Do a bureaucracy check.
I mean, yeah,
Name a
bureaucracy
law.
check. I know all of them. My character should know them.
Yeah, you ramble off a list of laws. He's like, all right, look, that's all fine and dandy. This kobold is not making decisions for the town. All right, if you have a problem with that, go talk to the Baroness. She's the real authority here. I'm just a clerk, okay? This is too big of a deal for me to just be deciding on. You gotta talk to the Baroness.
Buddy, do you care
and even
about
if I
this
were to
town?
accept this paperwork, you know what I would do? I would take it to the Baroness herself, and
That's
then
fine.
she would have to make the decision. But I'm not gonna go signing off on.
You talk to the Baroness herself?
Let me put it to you this way: if we listened to him, the entire town would be broke.
I agree.
Do you want to know why? He
I
would
agree.
have ruined everything. He's come in here before and made a royal decree that all fish should be free. Okay?
No, I completely agree with you, but that's kind of the point. You care about this town, right?
Look. What was your name again? I don't think I ever got it. What's your name?
You care about this town.
What's your name?
My name?
Yeah.
My name is O'Keefe.
O'Keefe?
Yeah.
Look, O'Keefe. You gotta talk to the Baroness.
I'm just saying, I care about this town.
All
I assume you
right.
do.
I like you, buddy, but you gotta get out of here. Guards, can you get this guy out of here?
You really want this charge to be in charge of a kobold? I'm trying to change this and give us a proper figure and a proper...
A soldier comes over,
authority.
puts a heavy hand on your shoulder and says, buddy, it's time to go.
I'm just trying to help this town out.
Come on. He starts pulling you gently towards the door.
I guess that's...
Let's
they're
go
not
visit
gonna.
Baroness Jezebel then.
They're not gonna
Baroness
sign off
Jezebel.
on Glibglob's nonsense and appoint an. You got.
But they
If you
might
convince the
prefer to have
Baroness.
somebody else in charge, aka
Well-
a sheriff.
I'm telling you, it's not working.
All right. Look, plan B, we'll go see Baroness Jezebel.
I know there are a lot of crazy ideas that we come up with, but they're not all winners.
All right, look,
Okay.
we'll go to
All
Baroness
right.
Jezebel. We'll try the other way, okay?
Okay. The whole party heads to the Baroness's office or estate.
Should we confirm that the armor is in the church and everything to begin with? Like, Rob, did you have any other animals in your armor that I can locate?
Just the 2 mice.
Or plants? Oh, yeah, I can. No, but I don't think I can do specific animals, can I? So
No.
there's probably a
there
lot
would
of
just be,
mice around.
there'd be mice everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, so no plants either? That could be a bit more
No, just the mice.
specific. Okay. All right. Well, then I don't know if I would be able to locate it. Besides, again, I could charm people to ask or things like that, command words. But yeah, otherwise, I guess we're talking to the Baroness.
About our lost money.
Okay. You
No,
guys
we're asking her
arrive.
to make him mayor. I mean,
You arrive at the estate.
I don't
The
know which one's gonna
guards-
be easier to do, Taki.
The guards on the door at the gate ask you for your business. What are you here for?
I'm here with a cleric. We wish to speak with the Baroness about a matter of the empty sheriff station. Empty station of the sheriff.
Do you have a new appointment that you'd like to make?
Yes, we have a candidate in mind.
One of the guards will escort you through the grounds and into a waiting room where you wait for like an hour for the Baroness to be ready because she's got something else she's doing at the time. And after an hour, she arrives with a couple of knights flanking her. You guys aren't wearing weapons right now, so it's fine.
No, I wouldn't bring that into this.
And she sits down before you and says, I am the Baroness! What do you need?
We wish to put forward a candidate for the new sheriff, ma'am.
And who shall it be?
This gnome cleric. He
I'll
a gnome
now, respectfully.
Yes.
A gnome.
The previous sheriff, Your Grace, was a gnoll.
Silence! She looks to the gnome. You there!
Yes, my lady.
If you were to be sheriff, what would be your first act?
My first act would be to organize deputies in order to have a potent policing force to better restore order.
Are you telling me my town is out of order?
Yes, it lacks a primary law enforcement officer right now.
Are there murders in the streets?
Yes.
There generally are, ma'am.
An unusual
town thing.
Is it an unacceptable amount of murder?
I would imagine that it depends on what one is willing to accept.
By your judgment?
Ma'am, I understand that 4 people were robbed by a priest just the other night. When priests are going around robbing people, can utter chaos be far behind? Soon
You're
will be dogs and cats
gnome.
living together.
You're a very rude gnome, you know that?
I am, ma'am. As you say, you are absolutely right. May I also say that you look amazing in that dress. Where did you get it? I would...
Tell me, gnome, why do you wish to be sheriff? What is your desire fueled by?
My desire is that I am driven by being a victim of crime myself, and who could have greater diligence in processing and acting against crime than someone who has felt its sting.
So you have been personally slighted, and you seek the office of sheriff for vengeance?
Not just for me, but for all people. Not for vengeance, but for justice.
And let's not knock on vengeance here, everybody.
Shh, don't talk out turn.
The cleric of vengeance there.
Mm-hmm. And let me ask you, if the lock on the sheriff's door were to be damaged, with what would you replace it?
Ma'am, I am a gnome. I would create a lock, which, if someone attempted to pick it, would shoot a gout of fire right into their eye as they stared into the keyhole to try to see the tumblers going.
That is my greatest fear, that you would implement a plan for the safety of the town that would backfire and burn it down.
Man, my devices do not backfire.
Never?
I feel
That's
that
what
never
I
can
thought.
be up to definition in the same way that acceptable can.
Acceptable murders.
Your Grace, if I may,
Yes, speak up.
I have a second candidate here, a cleric of vengeance, who will find vengeance for victims of crime.
Which one is it?
It is I.
This gentleman over here, ma'am.
You, Cleric of Vengeance, why do you seek this post?
Because there's unruly law this town is very unruly, and to better serve my god as well as the town, I wish to take this position of authority.
Mm-hmm. And what would your first act be?
My first act, to hear out anybody who has any grievances, to enact...
More specific, please. That's a very broad statement.
Am I to know who will come to me with...
So you have no decisive first act. You would just passively wait as sheriff for problems to come to you?
Well, I believe these people have been slighted, me included. So if...
What are your slights?
Well, the priests, the other clerics, have robbed me, including these people, and it would have to be investigated. And if they're found
You've been
guilty,
robbed by clerics?
Yes.
That is the level of chaos that is descended to. In fact, just the other night, ma'am, somebody broke into the church.
I have heard about it. They say a naked man and a human and a gnome.
Exactly, ma'am. And it takes a gnome to catch a gnome.
High as a kite, playing with snakes in their trousers, and had to be quarantined. Don't think I don't know who you are. Word of your deeds has already spread to me.
Ma'am, our gear was taken.
Aha! We get to the truth of why you are here.
Ma'am, drugs are not illegal. Thievery is.
No one cares about the drugs.
Agreed. But
The
thievery...
Ooh, you're accusing priests, clerics of theft.
We are clerics, ma'am, ourselves. We understand this. This is why it is so heinous. Imagine someone there stole from clerics.
Well, as we all know, the gods stand apart from man, and if a cleric has wronged another cleric, it's an issue for the gods. Should be taken up with them. The state will not intervene in upon secretarian violence or crime.
So this
You
is
must
not
take it.
a role for law.
You must take it to the deities themselves. The great cleric of Astaire in the Temple of Town is a lawful and orderly man. He can be trusted.
He's got zone of truth, don't he? Thank you, Your Grace, for your time.
You are wise.
Thank you very much. Please appoint a sheriff soon, because it is chaotic out there, you know?
It seems rather fine whether we have a sheriff or not. Sheriff doesn't actually seem to get anything done or prevent any violence in town. And now there is less money. There's more money to be spent on things that actually matter. Like repairing the roads, fixing buildings after they burn down, replacing blacksmiths after they get captured or murdered in the night.
Thank you, Your Grace. Yes, you're quite correct.
The sheriff and the mayor seem to be useless. That's why I have not replaced them yet. They don't serve much of a function.
All right.
Good day.
Perhaps, ma'am, you should appoint Glibglob as mayor. He serves almost no function. It seems a perfect match.
It does, doesn't it?
I leave.
Lord Glibglob is adorable. I so proclaim it. Perhaps I shall use the money we would have paid a sheriff for the next year and erect a huge statue of him in the middle of the market, upon which we can hang ornaments for Yuletide.
Very wise, ma'am.
Good day, sirs. She gets up and walks out.
Let's go to the clerk of the stair and get the zone of truth up.
We should visit her more often.
New favorite NPC.
All right. Let's find the cleric of the stair.
Okay.
Is the paladin of the stair in town today?
No, there's no paladins anywhere.
You know there's a paladin of the stair called Sir Walker?
No, he's not here. He's off on an adventure somewhere else.
Oh, is he in Eridon?
I'm
He's on an adventure. You don't know where.
He's in Eridon. Ooh.
I'm
All right.
fine with Cleric of Astaire and Zone of Truth.
You
Right.
get to the temple, and
I don't enter.
It's
the same temple, right?
It's the same temple, yeah.
All right, I don't enter.
I go in looking for the cleric of the stair wearing the symbol.
yeah, you find him. There he is.
Father, there's a group of people outside with a lawful grievance they wish to speak with you about that you could resolve.
He follows you and heads out to the steps and then gazes down upon the 3 people there and looks at you and goes, "What are you doing?"
I bow.
That man has barred from the church. That one was climbing the church naked last night. And that one demanded snakes.
Yes, but
Yes, and thank you.
And we are
that's
grievely
theft,
apologetic for that. We are grievely apologetic, but drugs are no crime. Thievery is, and that is why we come to you on this day.
Have you seen my money?
What money?
My money?
How much did you have?
200 something gold.
I think not, naked man. I think not.
Did you happen to see us last night, or are you going off what the other clerks have told
I heard
you?
of your shenanigans this morning.
Okay.
I was awoken last night to the sounds of ruckus, but there were plenty of other people taking care of it, so I got my sleep instead.
But you recognize me. You know of me. You know that I normally have
you are
a
on the
giant
watch
set of
list.
armor. Of course, but it is known of my armor, which has been taken from me. I've entered in your temple with
Taken
it.
from you or
Taken from
lost
me.
by you?
Taken.
Are you sure?
There is one way to find out.
What is that way?
Several ways, even. We live in a land where our gods have plenty of options for us. We can go into the room and use thought capture.
You think thought capture would capture your incident?
It
No,
can
there have
capture
been a
many
great
incidents in there.
and many dramatic events that have unfolded within this church. Last night's shenanigans barely register. The
Perhaps you
thought
could
object
use it-
itself would be too hard to grasp.
Perhaps
You can
we use
use-
a zone of truth.
On us and others. We have nothing to hide here.
I will be happily submit to it.
I do
Would-
believe
would the
that
priest
none of
object?
you were in a state to properly remember anything, and any truth you tell would be murky at best.
But you would generally be able to tell that we're not lying about our recount.
I believe that you are not lying about your account right now. I believe that you believe that your armor was stolen.
Do you have any other knowledge?
Who was
No.
on duty that night? Your father. Can we just zone
The
of truth
cleric
then
of
say-
Womator was on duty, and then all the other priests and clerics were woken up. There were
So could you ask them
dozens
where
of
their
them.
belongings went, please? Like, they
Naturally,
were wearing
someone here would
clothes.
know where they went. We were
You are
escorted all the way back.
accusing us of stealing your armor.
I'm
One of you,
accusing
yes.
the cleric of Jexel of doing
Well,
so.
that's-
Cleric of Jexel.
I think
I don't
that's a
know-
red herring.
Yeah, I don't know who. All I know is that if you asked your clerics if we were wearing our armor or not, would they say that we were when they saw us?
He eyes all of you. I believe
My holy symbol was built into that armor. Someone has stolen a holy symbol from a priest.
Ooh, that is a problem. Of which god do you worship?
You said it was. You told me there was one that would fit for like devices and artifice and stuff.
Seor, the
Seor.
god of creation.
Seor. Yes,
Crafting.
Seor.
Yeah.
And I have been
Yes.
wrong.
My tools, my parts and pieces and gadgets were in there.
And
I
I've been
can
wrong.
acquire.
My god would not stand
I-
for this as much as I wouldn't.
I
You've
would
been
hate
wronged.
to see a cleric without a holy symbol. I shall get you a new symbol of Seor.
But I would like my armor, which was a creation to give glory to Seor.
And what did
It
you
had
do
an
with it?
automatic card dealer.
And you
While these
lost
people
it?
were- while they were inebriated in this building, it was taken from them. Can you
Many
just
an
ask your cleric?
inebriated person has done something that they cannot remember or regret the next day, but that does not make
I do
the
have a
theft.
memory, murky as it is, that a being came into us and was offering us coins and then disrobed us of our gear.
I had my
That's called
gear. I
terrorist,
slept.
You
I woke without it.
accepted cash
I did
for
not
your
accept cash.
items?
I was busy with the snake.
I was asleep.
specifically did not accept anything.
You cannot accept a deal if you were asleep.
Definitely took his things though.
Yeah.
Mm.
I believe somebody was using trickery to try to trick us in our state out of our gear, but I never accepted those coins because I was very busy. And I believe someone took my things from me regardless of whether I accepted their trickery.
If a man is drunk and in his stumbling stupor, he kicks over and breaks a pot of a potter, is he liable for
Yes.
repairing the pot?
Yes.
Is a man liable for the actions he takes while inebriated?
I did not accept any coins.
Is a man liable for the action he takes while asleep?
If a man robs a drunk man, is it not a crime?
What makes a man a priest?
The gods do.
Yeah.
Stealing from a person sleeping is one thing. Selling something to a drunken idiot is another. Buying something
if
from a
the
drunken
deal was
idiot
made.
is another. If you
I did
find a
not-
man in the streets and you offer him a parrot for all of his wealth, that is a law-abiding legal transaction.
But already
I did not accept any payment for my things. I did not accept any deal. How could I possibly accept payment for my creation that was a gift to Sayor?
Well.
Nor could he accept on my behalf.
Could you
Yes.
just
My
question the
belongings.
people who were awake at the time, and with your
I do
judgment-
believe all of your actions were quite voluntary and lawful. I have heard from the priest within on this matter at length. It has been quite the gossip
Which
here.
priest?
Perhaps the priest can tell whether I accepted payment for this truthfully in a zone of truth.
Is
If
he
it's-
asking
if
I
it's
will
a
remain
accept
hidden?
He can say so.
I will
The
accept Astaire's judgment on this using a
If-
zone of truth.
If he wants to admit to have done this trade, we will be fine.
I would
But
assume
at the
a man
moment,
with no
there's
fault.
a denial of a trade ever occurring.
I assume a man who saw no fault here would be perfectly willing to step forward and recount what has happened.
No fault? Oh, I see great fault with what has happened.
Well, on their end, not their end.
No. Inebriated, naked people crawling all over the church, urinating on the floors, destroying our beds. We have to replace the mattresses and the bed frames, and wash everything, and candles were knocked over. There was much damage done here. I do believe the
We would
people at fault
gladly pay
here
for those
are
beds
you.
we-
I would be happy to repair all of those things and
But
improve
it is
them
not,
even.
is it not their responsibility to repair these things?
Get on different floors, okay?
It is in my infinite wisdom and judgment that justice has already been served. And perhaps in the future, you would be wise with your actions and less careless with your words. Good day. He storms off, angry, and you've been,
That
in your
guy
minds
robbed
at
us.
least, robbed.
Yeah, he robbed you. He was the one who did it.
It was
If
that
he-
guy.
And I think he's friends with the drug dealer because he mentioned someone urinating on the floor, and you guys didn't urinate at the temple.
Yeah, we need to murder him.
Yeah, okay, we can do that.
We have to enact
Yeah,
vengeance.
All right. All
Yeah,
right.
we must kill.
Sure. Let's see. He lives at the temple though, so we have to find him when he's alone. Okay.
I think
Yes.
maybe I should ask for my god to enact vengeance on this cleric who has robbed us wrongfully inside a church.
Yeah. Clearly, he has to die. Yeah.
Go talk to your goddess, see what she says.
Oh god.
All right. Yeah. I'll do a little prayer, and we can proceed with the murder plan when it's nighttime.
Okay, here we go. I pray to my goddess
What's her
Velthara.
name?
Velthara? Velthara.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Whew. I pray to you on this day because last night, while partaking in some creativity, we had been robbed within a church to all of the gods by other clerics. They now deny it. They now deny us not only our gear for which we do acts in the names of our Rob, you're a cleric too, right?
Yes.
of our god and goddesses, but they've also taken our armors and equipment that even contains our holy symbols. This is not something that should be easily forgiven. I ask, should we take vengeance for this act of treachery against us?
You feel like a warmth spreading through you, like you're very cold, and you take like a shot of whiskey, and that sort of like hotness spreads through your body. It's just like a warming, almost like grounding sense of joy or of affirmation. You can tell you've been wronged, and the goddess of vengeance says, if someone screws you, you screw them back. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. That's the only way the world works. You can't let people kick you around. They need to be told what their place is, and they need to be put in it.
Well, that's not far enough. I mean, if he puts a knife in you, you pull a gun on him. This is Chicago way. Eye for an eye. He takes an eye, you take out all the eyes of his family.
Even if this is a high cleric of another god?
Well, yeah.
Is this the god's decree?
It's a high cleric of another god for now.
There'll be a dead body tomorrow.
Oh, we're still gonna die doing this. I'm ready. Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, you need to find out where he sleeps and go there at night.
Do you have any, just finishing out the conversation, do you have any guidance for me on this way? It seems like a task that I might not be able to fulfill for you.
You do this for yourself, and I applaud you for it. Go, my child. Wreak vengeance upon those that have wronged you. Take matters into your own hand. You are the law.
I will enact the vengeance that we bring to this world. Okay?
Okay.
Shit. All right.
All right. Well, I hope you guys can all come back next week for our vengeance mission, because we don't have time to do a whole vengeance mission today. And if we can get this crew back next week, I guess we'll have to do a continuation, which we don't usually do on Shenanigans, but this seems like an appropriate situation. If there are other players, which there probably will be, you'll have to convince them to join your cause, which should not be hard. It's Shenanigans. I think everyone's going to be willing to join you on this one.
Oh, man.
And this, kids, is why you don't do drugs. You're
going
to wander off into the woods. You're going to lose your cell phone. You're going to come back with one shoe on. And you're going to have a weird hat that you don't know where you got it from. It's all fun and games until you wake up in the morning.
Well, I made 20 gold. I'm good.
Because you didn't do any drugs.
I really wanted to command word you to do it, but I couldn't.
Yeah, that would have. Anyway.
Okay, well.
All right. Whew. Congratulations, everybody. That was Shenanigans.
An experience for getting the ballista made eventually.
We didn't nearly complete that quest. No experience for anybody.
To be fair, no, we got the snake. We got the snake. That's a completed mission.
No experience for anybody.
We got Hubert's snake in the bag.
No experience for anybody.
I got that ballista made. I got all the parts. I got all the people.
No experience for anybody.
Oh, the drug dealer. We beat that fight. We beat the drug dealer.
No experience for anybody.
I completed my task.
Zero.
I actually completed the mission. I completed it. They were off task. I was on task, and I got the mission complete.
Zero experience.
I'm getting closer to the 4, though.
I finished the mission.
We're gonna fight a high priest.
Experience.
We need it.
The mission is nowhere near done. You just gave you gave a gnome the job to build a ballista. It's gonna take years. It's gonna need massive oversight. It's gonna run wildly over budget.
Our mission was to have a gnome build it. Just our gnome.
I know. It was a terrible idea. I don't know why we're doing it. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's Shenanigans episode. We will be back. Actually, not next week. I'm out of town next week, but we'll be back on the 25th of January for some more shenanigans. Tomorrow, we're going to have chit chat in the morning. We're not going to have desperate measures in the afternoon because stupid things. Tuesday, we will have Empires of Arcadia. Wednesday, we'll have Dicing with Death and a very special one-shot called Demon's Run, which is going to be an epic-ass battle with a bunch of players. So you'll just have to show up for that one. It's going to be at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And then Thursday, we're going to have a really early of Dice and Men at like 8:30 a.m. or something like that. 9:30, 8:30, something. And that's it for the next week. We will see you guys later. Unless anyone has any final words. Rob?
Support Neal at patreon.com/Koibu, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Matt? Mark?
Everybody play more D&D.
Neal took all of our experience and our gear.
Right? Robbed by a priest while I was asleep.
I think you robbed yourselves. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.